Welcome back to Taylor's Tech Repair. What are we getting into today? Well, as you know, we have gotten through all the laptops that I had um, sitting around. We found out what's wrong with them, what's missing. We fixed some of them fully. So now we have a bunch of parts. We have, because I parted out some laptops as well. So we have full, 3 hard drives, one SSD that goes into a hard drive component, 4 SSDs, 3 RAMs. That's what we got left over from our adventure. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab 2 laptops. That's what I'm going to do. And grab this ZBook first. Let's see what this one needed. This one needed an SSD. All it needs. So it doesn't need any RAM. So, let me set all these parts aside. We'll set my SSDs up here. And we'll go ahead and, it looks like the screws are already taken out. And I see that my recording froze, so I'll be back here. Okay, so we got all those parts set aside. Looks like it's already unscrewed. All we gotta do is pull off the bottom here. Open that up. And so I wrote down a needed RAM. And I crossed that out for some reason, but it still needs RAM. So let's put that in the slot. Let's put in our SSD. And then let's secure, let's get that secured down. So let me grab my screwdriver, have some screws here that I should be able to use for that purpose. Go ahead and use this one here. All right, and there we go. This should go back on here. And we'll put this back on. We'll get it screwed down, fire it up, and see what happens. All right. So let's get some screws in here. Looks like we need 6 screws. There's 2. Get some more in here. And go with these longer ones that I see right away. Okay, so I got that screwed down. Let's go ahead and try firing it up. Now I'll probably need to grab the charger for it. So let's go ahead and got the charger here. And power it on. So I can hear the fan spinning. It's trying to kick on. We'll have to hit, this be the old password for the old SSD. We'll have to get something where we can get that off of here. I can still hear it just spinning away. I haven't seen anything flashing yet. Let me try turning it back off. So it should have gotten at least like an HP screen or some kind of boot screen. Let's turn it back on. I can hear the fan spinning. But nothing so far. I'm going to try turning it on one more time. Doesn't come on, we might put that RAM in the other slot and see if it boots up that way. Okay. Let's do some diagnostics then. Let's unplug the RAM that's in there, and then try booting when the RAM's in slot B. Don't know why that would affect it. There we go. Go ahead and unscrew this again. Okay, that should be loosed enough, all loosed up and all unscrewed. So let's try putting that back up. Pop this out of here. Yeah, disconnect the battery real quick. Actually. There we go. Let's pop this out of here and try it in that second slot. Reconnect the battery. We'll try turning it back on again. We'll actually do that hopefully while this is opened. Little piece keeps wanting to come out. So let's try turning it back on. And there's something going on with it. Okay. It's just not wanting to boot. So we'll take two parts that we just put in, put the back on. We'll use those parts for something else. I don't think this would be a bad RAM, but I mean, we could try putting another one in. But let's just put it in another one that was missing an SSD and RAM. We'll come back to this one later. About that. Okay. So we'll set that aside. We'll grab HP. Now this HP just needs a hard drive. Now I can either put this in, I believe, the SSD upgrade, possibly. It's really meant to fit in that other Dell. We might have to take that apart. In that case, let's go ahead and put this normal one back in. Has RAM in it. That's all it needed. So let's put this back on. Close it up. Try booting up. Let's get this all screwed back down. Okay, so there's 3 screws. Looks like we got a few more to put back in. Another one. Alright, so we got just some on this side now left. That screw is not happy with us. We might have to put a different one in there. Let me take that one out. You can see where it would click in, but it does not want to screw in there. Okay, well, can we get it to come out? Doesn't really want to do that either. Let me take these screws back out so I can get this corner one to cooperate with me. Okay, we got this last one to undo. We'll get this opened up. There we go. Oh, we're holding on somewhere, maybe. Is there one down there? No, there is. Okay. Let me try unscrewing the screw. Okay. So, the reason that's not going down is, I don't know how well you guys can see this. It's supposed to be a screw hole right here. So if you look at the one on the other side, it has more like that metal plating where it holds the screw. It's completely gone. There's nothing in there to hold a screw down. So hopefully we can kind of just, and I see why it's all held up on this plastic. Let me see if I can get this undone from the screw. I'll put that back in there. That does not look like it. In that case, we'll put the other ones down, and then we'll see if that's enough to hold it down. While we're screwing this down, I'm trying to get some more engagement on our channel. If you have any like feedback or anything, please definitely let me know. If you want like music in the background, I have to find some non-copyrighted music to play, but something while I'm taking things apart, putting them back together. I'm sure watching someone unscrew things and screw them back in is kind of boring. So if you have any ideas on that, and I do try to comment back as best as I can. Someone commented actually on one of my previous videos, and I didn't see it at first, but I commented back and appreciated their comment. So while we're talking about comments, actually, if you 4th of July is coming up for me as I'm filming this. It's a few days away. It's actually 2 days away. So if you had any fun 4th of July plans or did anything on the 4th of July, let me know. I'd like to hear your guys' stories. If you saw any fireworks, shot some fireworks off. You know, some states, they don't have where you can shoot fireworks, but if you saw any fireworks, I know some states are also, in some places, doing drone shows. I think there's actually one of those happening around my area, I saw. Never seen a drone show. I did get to see a light show last year, which was really cool. So if you've gotten to see a drone show, you know about that as well. We'll take this middle screw out and see if we can get something in there better as well. Does not look like it. Okay. Just screw that down then. There we go. Okay. So everything should be screwed down. Looks like we might have one more to put in right here. Yes. Okay. So that's all the screws. Let's go ahead and put this. Probably need to put it on the charger. And we'll try to fire it up. So let's remove this paper that says we need a hard drive, because obviously we just put one on. Let's put my adapter in there. Grab charger. There we go. So we got Signs of Life starting to turn on. And we'll probably have to boot from the USB instead of the hard drive. I don't know what's on the hard drive, as I pulled it from a computer. We'll give it a few moments, see if it does boot. Okay, it's saying it's not found, even though we know that's in there. So we're going to connect this to the USB. And we're going to boot from the USB drive instead. So it's starting to turn on. I think it's going to find that boot device. Yep. So let's go ahead, install Windows. And that install is starting. We'll wait for that to install. Accept the terms of and conditions. Do my custom install. Okay. So it looks like we'll need to format both of these. We have a partition that we don't need. Okay. So we're going to have to format this disk to be a different type. Now, I'll admit, I know we have to go to disk part and do that. I have to remember the commands to do that. So let me get those commands pulled up. Okay, so the I just found out. I looked this up. I'll admit it. I did know that we have to go to disk part, but we'll have to do. I'll go through those commands with you guys. So disk part. Oop. List disk. Select disk 0. And we're going to hit clean just to, clean just to format it. And then the last step, since we're telling us cannot install it because of the type of drive we have, we had an MBR drive. We just have to convert this drive to GBT. So now we should be able to boot from that drive. Go ahead and turn it back on. And we'll wait for that to boot from that USB. All right, so we'll try installing it again here. That install is starting. We'll accept the terms. We will do a custom install. And now it should let us install Windows. So we'll come back once that is fully installed. All right, so that has booted into Windows. We're going to go ahead and power this off. I'm going to set that aside. And then we have another HP here. And it needs a RAM and SSD. Alright. So, let's get that open and get it installed. Alright, we got that opened up here. There's our, well, once we can get it pulled off of here, there's our little RAM hole. Let's go ahead and put that in. And then there's our spot for an SSD. Go ahead and put that in as well. And then let me grab a screw to hold that down. Okay. Let's put our covers back on. I believe it was this way. Then our SSD cover. Let's go ahead and get the case back on and screw this back down. It's not like this screw here. I don't think this one's long enough. Grab a different one, hopefully. Let's see about one of these maybe. That one is pretty long. Should work. I'm still not liking it. See if we have anything longer to put in there. The other one I grabbed just a little too long. Let's see what we got. Perhaps this? Also does not like that, really. Okay. So let's go ahead and try turning this on. Grab the charger for it. We have Signs of Life. Our caps lock light has come on. Did not blink like it did before. should boot up. And we might have to format this SSD that we just put in. I'll give it a few moments to boot up. Okay, our caps lock light is just blinking one time and then it turns. Maybe it's going to come back on. There it goes. Yes, we know that it is different than the last setup. Because we changed the memory during between now and the last boot. Just want to wait for that to come on here. Okay. So it cannot find Windows. Let's go ahead and install Windows. All right. So we're on that install page. Looks like the mouse is not working at the moment. We might have to open that back up and see what's going on with that. Make sure we don't have a loose ribbon cable. But for now, we'll just use the keyboard. If it's gonna let me, we might have to grab my external mouse here. Let me grab that real quick. All right, let's get Windows installed. We'll come back once that is finished. a second. All right, so it has booted into Windows. So we're done with this. I will look at the trackpad, see what's going on and why it's not moving the mouse, but we'll look into that in the next video. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And remember, any of the laptops that we fully repaired, you can find those in the bio down below if you're interested in buying one. So we'll see you next time.